though, before we start, the crew line asked me to introduce myself. Besides my name, which I usually just say my name and then go on, they say, no, they need to know you a bit better. So I'll do that with slides, if you don't mind. These are my letters after my name. I've always dreamed of having lots of letters after my name, so I just added a couple of them. They're all true, though, just not necessarily diplomas. First one is BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and I did graduate. Second one, PPL. So they said, well, we need one that's water-related because of the cruise experience. So I sent them that. They said, you don't understand, it needs to be a bit more recent. Sure, I sent them that one. Recent, this winter. Edmund Street is about 50 feet of it, which is paved. The rest officially is this staircase. And if you're at the bottom, you will see Edmund Street. It is officially a street. And then this one there goes on the side to go in another area. So they use staircases as streets in town. You do have to come up or down, whatever you want. But this is the ice field, all the ice field above Juneau. There are about 140 glaciers on the Juneau ice field, 40 major ones, and some of them, most of you will be visiting Mendenhall Glacier, and some, excuse me, will go visit Taku Glacier. Taku is one of them. You have on the right the Nugget Falls. Depending how you go to the Mendenhall by an excursion or on your own with a shuttle or whatnot, you can go to the Nugget Falls right at the bottom of the falls. Quite interesting. So when I walk fast and come back fast, it's about 50 minutes from the visitor center, Nugget Falls, and back. And most often, some of the excursions only leave you an hour. We will have to make some choices. Do I go to other photo points or to Nugget Falls? And these are the falls here, and you just walk along the beach there. Up close, Mendenhall, look at, again, all the crevices and cracks. Do you see some people in kayaks right there? WACS, White Allied Communication System. During the Cold War in the 1950s, the Air Force needed some communication, and they installed some radar system all through Alaska so that it could listen in and communicate with each other. It was called WACS. So they needed top of the mountain to put their radar on. And you see the right picture, that's the top of the mountain. This is where you leave from when you do the zip rider. Any volunteers? First of all, the eagle is an emblem for the states, of course, spiritual symbol for the native, the First Nations, magnificent profile, as you see, amazing wide wingspan and huge claws, and they're there to grab their prey. This is the map of where the range of the bald eagles are all over North America, except some of the northern areas only. You see in red, that's their summer areas. And you see the statue of General Wolfe. So the big battle of 1759, when the British won, it was General Wolfe, James Wolfe, that won the battle and the war, and Montcalm, French general, that did not. Montcalm died the next day, Wolfe died on the battlefield. Now this statue was done, as you can see, the year 20 years after, it was put on a pedestal in a store, and some of the Quebec people did not like to see James Wolfe, the victor, on the pedestal, so some sailors apparently decided to steal the statue, brought it to the Bahamas, Caribbean, all around the world, then dropped it in Great Britain, and Britain said, that's not ours, we're going to ship it back to Quebec City, but they shipped it in a box, and the arm that it's standing did not fix in the box, so they cut the arm off, put it in the box, sent it back to Quebec City, so we put the arm back up again. So that is in the library. Try to imagine that. Now, you will be going to the Montmorency Falls, some of you. Beautiful to see. You can go up the cable car if you wish. Or if you prefer, and I know that a lot of you will want to do that, is climb here the 487 steps. You can if you have to. And when you go down there, you see often a rainbow within that water area. It's a beautiful park area. There's a restaurant and exhibit. We're going to have about 2.5 blocks long. At the end of it, you have some staircases here, and that's a picture in the winter time. Listen, I'm a winter girl. I love winter. I love cold. I do not like hot. So winter for me is a yay season.
ship talking to everyone. I wish every speaker I ever had to deal with in my life would be like her. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dominique.
Hello. Oh, I was unplugged, I'm sorry. Now, this is arriving in port in Charlottetown, waterfront. Peaks Wharf is the wharf that you see here in the bottom picture. Different merchants, different boutiques, just nice. If you don't want to go too far, then just walk around the wharfs, around the waterfront. You will enjoy that. To learn the true meaning of Crumfest. Now, the reason I'm saying that to you is because in town, you can look for Eckhart, and that's actually a very nice activity that over time guests have really enjoyed. You can get the brochure from the tourist office, from the Founders Hall. You have to find 9 mice in all the city, and the 9 locations of the mice actually tell you a bit about the history of Charlottetown. It's a small brochure. Red circle is where we're going, Sydney, and then you have on the right of that a black one, which is Glace Bay for the mining museum. Below one is Louisbourg. You say Louisburg, it is Louisbourg in French, of course, because it was a French fortress. Louisbourg at the bottom, and then Iona with the Highland Village, and above Badek. So some of you will be going all in the area, and you do see here the Bras d'Or Lake, very large lake. Bras d'Or means a golden arm lake. And these are the tartan of Cape Breton. In the museum, you also have, again, it puts everything in perspective. This is the kist, which is a large wooden box they could bring to the other country, to their new country. So what do you bring from home? That's what I packed to come on a 15-day cruise, okay? They leave their lives behind, their family behind. What do you pack, right? So that is the maximum, 10 feet by 10 feet, 2,500 pounds maximum, and the picture on the bottom shows you what it looked like as they were sent that kist up to wherever they were going. Now, the picture to the right also shows you the kitchen sink. Remember when we said we packed everything but the kitchen sink? They packed the kitchen sink. It says on one of the panels that one of the ladies, bless her, she did not know if Canada had rocks. And she had a favorite rock that she would have at her house to keep the door open. So she packed the rock and coming back towards the ship after that. So first of all, the public gardens. I've been there since 1836, one of the first public gardens. At this time of year, the plants are really nice, still nice, and the flowers as well. Just a very lovely area. That is the Queen Golden Jubilee. The gate were opened in 1890. Fountains, you have little pond area where the Titanic small ship is floating by, some ducks as well. Enjoy that. If you're into flowers, you will love this area. And as we go down Spring Garden Road, we have the new Central Library, which is open and voted as one of the 10 most beautiful libraries in the world. You can see it's built up as books that are stacked on top of each other. Inside those are some of the staircases. You can go up with an elevator. We do have elevators in Halifax, but some of the staircases are just beautiful. And if you go up, there's a very nice little coffee place up there, coffee house. You can have a meal there, a coffee, and a roof garden as well. And of course, you would want to go to Peggy's Cove, which is about 40 miles away. It's not on a highway, so it does take some time to go there. The granite rock there are just superb. You can hop on to different blocks if it's not wet, because it can be very slippery if it's wet. But also they have now added like a paved cement little walkway, so easier to walk to go to the lighthouse and go to different areas if you have some mobility issues. A beautiful lighthouse in the area. That setting is just gorgeous. And this is a typical fishing Nova Scotia village. Only about 50 people live there year-round. And you can see all the wharfs at low tide and high tide, the waves, everything is gorgeous. It was also the location where Mr. William de Garth, one of the artists, stayed 40 summers in his gallery there and painted away. His gallery is still there. He moved on, but his gallery is still there. And he gave some of his iconic paintings to the public archives. He also wanted to do a memorial to fishermen. It was to be 100 feet long that he was going to create himself, and that is the memorial that you see. But